Hello guys, I guess we are live now. Can someone please type in the chat if I am audible and if the screen is visible as well? Please type yes in the chat. Guys, please type yes in the chat if I am audible and if the screen is visible. Thanks Akhil for confirming. Let us wait 1 more minute for few more people to join, after which we will start the session. Thanks Sarkar. Meanwhile, if any one of you has any query regarding anything, you can just message in the chat. I will resolve your query when I see it. So guys, let's start the session now. Basically today our topic would be profit, loss and interest. We will be continuing the revision series for OMETs. Basically, we will be covering everything about these two topics, profit and loss and then interest. And we will be also be doing questions. Majorly our focus would be questions only. So let's start the session. It will be basically, we will be targeting OMETs, these four major exams, OMETs, which are conducted. Before starting, let us see some basic terms regarding profit and loss. First would be cost price. For example, you want to eat mango and you go to a grocery shopkeeper to get mangoes. Now the shopkeeper sells you the mangoes at 100 rupees per kg and you pay 100 rupees and take 1 kg of mangoes. So for you the cost price would be 100 rupees per kg. Basically this is the price at which item is bought. Got it? I bought mangoes at 100 rupees per kg. Selling price. Now selling price is basically the price at which item is sold. So using the same example, for the shopkeeper, the selling price would be rupees 100 per kg. The price at which he sold the mangoes to me. Third term is mark price. Now this is the price which is listed or labeled on the item. So for example, if you go to any market or any shop, you would see some price labeled on the item. Generally it is MRP only, but this mark price is not always equal to selling price, which we will see later. Got it? The fourth term is markup. Now markup is basically the amount by which cost price is increased to get the mark price. So for example, I bought the mangoes at 100 rupees per kg. Now I want to sell those mangoes to my friend. So I mark the price, I label the price of the mangoes at 150 per kg. It is obvious that I won't be selling them at 100 rupees per kg. So I mark the price at, I label the price of mangoes at 150 rupees per kg. So my mark price would be 150. And what would be my markup? My bad, this is mark price. what would be my markup? It would be basically marked price MP minus cost price CP. So in our case, it would be 150 is what I labeled on the mangoes, and I bought it at them at 100 rupees per kg. So it would be 50 rupees per kg. Got it? This would be the markup. Now discount. The price at which any item is labeled, generally it is MRP. It is not necessary that it will be sold at the same price. So for example, in our condition, my labeled price or marked price was 150 per kg for the mangoes. Now it can happen that I give 15 rupees discount to my friend. I sell him at 135 per kg. Now this was the marked price, this is the selling price. I gave him discount, and the difference between both would be the discount. So in this case, the discount would be 150 minus 135, which would be 15. Profit, this we already know, we have been studying it since lower standards in school. It is the amount gained by selling the products. Basically, it is selling price SP minus cost price CP. Loss is basically amount lost by selling the product. It is CP minus SP. Now you make profit when your selling price is greater than cost price, and you are in a loss when your selling price is less than cost price. Got it? Let's move forward now. Let's see some of the formulas now. Profit P. Profit, as we already saw, and also you have been learning since school, it is SP minus CP, selling price minus cost price. Loss similarly, CP minus SP. Markup, this we already saw in our example, that in our example marked price was 150, but I gave discount and sold it for 135. So the discount was 15. Basically, sorry, that was discount. Discount is marked price minus selling price. Markup is basically marked price minus cost price. So in our case, my cost price was 100. So what was the markup? Markup was 150 marked price minus cost price 100. I increased the price of the item by 50 from the cost price. So the markup would be marked price minus cost price. Let us do one question, one illustration regarding this. Now in this question it is given that an item costs 100 for a shopkeeper. So cost price would be 100 in rupees. He marks up the article by 50. So now he marked up the article by 50. So we already know markup equals to marked price minus cost price. So 50 equals to marked price minus what? Minus cost price. So cost price is 100 here. So we got our marked price as 150 rupees. He gives a discount of 30 rupees. So now he gave a discount of 30 rupees on this marked price. Now, discount equals to marked price minus selling price. So discount 15 equals to marked price 150 minus selling price. Selling price comes out as 135. Now we are required to find the marked price, selling price, and profit and loss. We have already derived the marked price, this is 150. Selling price, we already derived selling price as 135. we are also required to find profit or loss of the item. Now we know profit P, this equals to SP minus CP. We already know SP selling price is 135, cost price is 100. So what would be profit here? Profit would be 35 rupees. We have derived all the values. Also, there's another thing you can remember regarding discounts, that when you give discount D% on marked price M, what would be the selling price? So to find that, we multiply marked price with 1 minus D. This gives us selling price. Basically, we give discount D on marked price, and if we multiply marked price by 1 minus D, it gives us selling price. Got it? In our example, the discount, if we calculate, marked price was 150. 150 into 1 minus D equals to selling price was 135. So D came out as 10% in our case. Does anyone has any doubt till now? Let me see the chat if anyone has any doubt. Guys, if anyone has any doubt, you can type in the chat. I will resolve your doubts when I see them. Let's move forward. So now, carrying on the previous formulas only, but these formulas are in percentages. So we already saw some formulas. Let us saw some more. Profit percentage. Now profit percentage equals to profit, and on what is profit calculated? It is calculated on cost price. So that is the reason profit percentage is profit upon cost price. And we already know the formula of profit. It is SP minus CP. Loss percentage, similarly, loss upon cost price. Profit loss is calculated always on the basis of cost price. Markup percentage. Now markup percentage as well is calculated on cost price, but here the numerator would be markup, whose formula we just saw. This is also done. Discount percentage. Now discount is not calculated on cost price. We already saw discount is calculated on labeled or MRP, on marked price. So discount equals to discount percent equals to discount upon marked price. Got it? So in our case, it was discount was 15 upon marked price was 150 in 200. It is nothing but 10%, which we also saw previously. Now partnerships. Basically, this is a topic where two or more people invest some money in a business, and it is used to calculate their ratio of profits or losses. So let's assume there are two persons, A and B, who invested in a business. Now let us assume the investments of A and B be IA and IB respectively, and the time periods for which the investment is done is TA and TB respectively. Now to calculate the ratio of profits, the ratio of profits would be IA into TA is to IB into TB. This would be the ratio of profit of A and B. So basically profit is directly proportional to investment into time. You just have to remember this, that profit is directly proportional to investment into time for any individual. let us do one question regarding this. Ajay and Bhavya started a business. Ajay invested 500 for 6 months and Bhavya invested 2000 for 12 months. Now we are given that total profit after a year was 18,000. We are required to find the profit share of Ajay and Bhavya. Now we will use this formula, that profit of A, let us write it as P of A, is to profit of B. This is IA into TA. So for Ajay, investment is 5,000. Time is 6 months. For Bhavya, we are denoting profit of Bhavya by PB. It would be 2000 into 12. So this comes out as comes out as 5:4. So profit of A to profit of B is 5:4. So basically, let's consider PA as 5x and PB as 4x. Now we know the total profit would be 5x plus 4x, which is 9x, and we are given that total profit was 18,000 after a year. So this would be equal to 18,000. X comes out as 2,000. But what are we required to find? We are required to find the profit share of Ajay and Bhavya. So profit share of Ajay would be P of A would be 5x, which is 5 into 2000, 10,000. Profit of B, Bhavya, would be 4x, which is 4 into 2000, 8,000. These are in rupees. These are the profit shares of both Ajay and Bhavya. So now basically we will be going to questions now. Before going to questions, I just want to confirm if anyone has any doubt till now. Anyone has any doubt till now in any of the concept, in any of the slides till now? Else we would be moving to questions now. Also guys, you have to do two things. Please like the stream and subscribe to the YouTube channel, to Cracku's YouTube channel. You would get CAT premium content for free if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. There is much content which is free, which is available. For example, PYQs of CAT of previous 6-7 years of all the 3 sections is there. Sectional strategies are there. Overall CAT strategies are there. Anyone has any doubt? I guess no one has any doubt. Let us move to questions now. Now, before moving to the questions, I want to tell a course which Cracku has recently launched. We have launched XAT course. Now how you can find it? You can just Google search Cracku XAT complete course, or you can also contact this number. Now this is a complete one-stop complete preparation package for XAT. Why am I saying this? Because in this course you would be getting 180 plus concept videos which would be covering full XAT syllabus. You would be covering full XAT syllabus in these concept videos. You would be getting national level mocks. Now these mocks would be for sure closest to XAT. You can also analyze your performance. There would be national level analysis. There would be various analysis factors which you can consider. There would be 350 plus topic test as well. And daily live classes would be there from December. And those live classes will be taken by Maruti sir and Saili ma'am. Now, Saili ma'am is XAT AIR1 for 2023 and 2025. Maruti sir is 5-time CAT 100 percentiler. So you would be getting guidance from the best in these fields. Both are AIR1. I would highly recommend you to just check out XAT 2027 course by Cracku. Now let us move to the questions now. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds for this question. Also guys, if anyone gets the answer, they can type in the chat. It would be more interactive. The session would be more interactive. Time is up, guys. Now let me solve this question. Here it is given that a man sells a pen at rupees 10.80 and makes a loss of 10%. Now we are given two values here, 10.80 and loss of 10%. So basically we are given selling price SP, this is 10.8. Also we are given loss is 10%. Loss L is 10%. At what price should he sell the pen so as to gain 25%? So this is the required profit in percent. So basically to solve this we need to get, we already have selling price, we already have loss percent. We need to find the selling price if the profit is to be 25%. So basically we need to calculate cost price here. How would we calculate cost price? We know the formula for loss. Loss formula is CP minus SP by CP into 100. 10 equals to CP, we don't know. Selling price is 10.8. Now if we get this term here in denominator, it would be 1 by 10 and also this term here. 1 by 10 into CP, which would be CP by 10. This equals to CP minus 10.8. Now we get, if we take CP here and this here, it would be CP minus CP upon 10, this equals to 10.8. CP comes out as 12 from here in rupees. This is the cost price. Now we are required to find the selling price if the profit is to be 25%. Now profit has to be 25% now. So let us write the formula for profit. Profit 25%, this equals to SP, which we are required to find, minus CP, cost price is 12 here, upon 12 into 100. So if we cross multiply, this would be 3 equals to SP minus 12. So selling price comes out as 15 rupees. This would be the selling price. Option D. Let me give shout out to the people who got it correct. Vasantan, Ramesh, Akhil, financer and marketer, Anshuman. Very well done, guys. You all got it correct. Let us move forward. Let us move to the next question now. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to solve this. Guys, the timer is over. Let us try to do this question. Here it is given that Ravi bought a second-hand bike for 40,000. He spent 5,000 in changing the tires of the bike. Now, using these two information, can we say that Ravi's cost price would be 40,000 plus 5,000? Ravi's cost price would be, which is CP, would be 40,000 plus 5,000, 45,000. Now we are given that he then sold his bike for a profit of 20% after offering a discount of 25% of the marked price. By how much percent did he mark up the price? So we are given that he sold his bike for a profit of 20%. So basically, he sold his bike for 20% profit. So we can write profit 20 equals to SP minus 45,000 upon 45,000 into 100. If we calculate the SP, it would come out as 54,000 in rupees. Actually, we are not given the unit. So SP would be 54,000. And this 54,000 he got after offering a discount of 25% on the mark price. So he sold his bike at 54,000 after offering a discount of 25%. So the mark price would have been higher than that, due to which he gave discount on that mark price which was higher than 54,000, and after giving 25% discount, the selling price came out as 54,000. So how can we identify the mark price here? I already told you that mark price into 1 minus D, this is selling price. So for calculating mark price, we know selling price here, and we also know discount 25% here. So mark price would be MP into 1 minus 25 by 100, which would be 3 by 4. This equals to 54,000. Now mark price came out as 72,000. This is the mark price. What are we asked? We are asked by how much percent did he mark up the price. We know that marking up of the price is done on cost price, and we already know the cost price. So the markup percentage would be marked price, which is 72,000, minus 45,000 cost price upon 45,000 into 100. So this would come out as 27 by 45 into 100. This would be 60%. So answer would be option C here. Let me see who all got it correct. Akhil, Vasant, Anshuman. Very well done, guys. You all got it correct. Let's move to the next question. Before moving to the next question, I would really like you to like the stream and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Cracku's YouTube channel. These two things I would really like you to do. Please attempt this question. I want all of you to attempt this question. The time is up for the question, guys. Let me solve it. Here it is given that Ram receives pure milk from the supplier every day. After receiving the pure milk, he decreases the concentration of milk by 20% by adding water. So basically, earlier milk was 100% concentration. It was pure milk, it is given. So 100% concentration. Now, he decreases the concentration of milk by 20% by adding water. So now the milk would be, let me write milk, water. Milk would be 80% concentration, water would be 20% concentration. So can we basically write that milk would be 80x, water would be 20x. Now x can be any number here. It depends on the total capacity of the container or total volume we have. And then he hikes the price of milk by 20% while selling. Now, this is the quantity of milk and this is the quantity of milk and water. Cost price as well. If we assume cost price of, since we are not really given cost price, if we assume cost price of milk is 10A, and what is the cost price of water? We are not given cost price of water, but we are given that water is available at no cost. So cost price of water would be 0 here. Now, we are given that he hikes the price of milk by 20% while selling. So what would be his selling price? He hikes this number 10A by 20%. So it would be 10A into 1.2, which would be 12A. And this is the selling price of overall mixture. Got it? So we have to now find what will be his profit in percent. So for profit, we know profit P equals to selling price minus cost price upon selling price. Now, for overall selling price, we know the selling price is 12A for the overall mixture, and the total mixture we already know is 80x plus 20x, 100x. So the overall selling price would be 12A into 100x, which would be 1200 AX. So let us write selling price at 1200 AX. What would be the cost price? Cost price would be, there is no cost price of water, it would be only of milk, and it would be total quantity, which is 80x, into cost price per unit, which is 10A. So it would be 80x into 10A, which is 800 AX. This is my bad, this is cost price. Now this comes out as 400 AX upon 800 AX, which is half, into 100. So this is 50% is the profit we got. 50% is our final answer. Option number D is the answer here. Got it? Let us move forward now. Let us move to the last question for profit and loss, and then we would be jumping to interests. So I would like all of you to attempt this question. You have 90 seconds. You have 2 minutes for this question. Also, let me give shout out to the people who got the previous question correct. Akhil, Vasant, Anshuman, and Sarkar will win. Very well done, guys. All four of you got it correct. Time is up, guys. Let me solve the question now. In this question, we are given that A started a business with a capital of 1800. After 4 months, B joined with 3600. Now, 6 months after the business started, C also joined with 1200. We are given the total profit is 1760. What is the share of A? Now, we already know that profit is shared in the ratio of investment into time. So let us, for all the three people, let us calculate the investment and the time period for which they invested. And if we take the product, the profit will be in that ratio. So for A, B, and C, investment and time period. So investment of A is 1800 and after 4 months B joined with 3600. So 3600 is the investment of B and C's investment is 1200. The time for all of them would be A started since the beginning and we are given end of the year. So A would be 12 months. B would be after 4 months B joined. So B would be 12 minus 4, 8 months. What would be C here? C would be 6 months after the business started. C would be 12 minus 6, 6 months. The time duration for which C invested his money. So the profit of A would be 1800 into 12K. Now why K? Because this is not the absolute profit. This is the proportion of profit which A will get with respect to B and C. We will also see for B and C as well. The constant K would be same for B and C as well. So this comes out as 21,600K. Similarly, for this was for A. Similarly, for B, we can see it would be 3,600 into 8K. Now this would be 28,800K. If you calculate it for C, it would be 1200 into 6K. This would come out as 7,200K. Now we have the profits ratios, and also we are given total profit at the end of year is 7160. So if we add these profits, it would come out as 1760, my bad. So what is the share of A? A's share would be 2160K upon total 2160 K plus 28800K plus 7200K. This is the proportion of profit of A. If we multiply this by 1760, we would get the share of A. So this would come out as, if we add these, this into 1760. So this would be 660. 660 would be profit of A. Option number B is the correct answer here. Let me see who all got it correct. Let us move to interest now, guys. This was the last question for profit and loss. Let us move to interest now. Before moving to interest, I want to tell you one course which Cracku has launched. It is Snap Complete course. You can just Google search Cracku Snap Complete course or contact it at this number. Just like the XAT course, it would also include many features. It would be a one-stop destination for your Snap preparation. You would have 130 plus concept videos. It would be comprehensive. It covers complete Snap syllabus. You don't need to go anywhere else. You would have mocks, national level mocks. You can analyze and identify your strength and work on your weak areas. As well as you would have topic tests and weekend live classes, and it will be under the guidance of Maruti sir and Saili ma'am. So I would highly recommend you all to just search this up and look out for it. Let us move forward now. Now we will be covering interest now. So let us see some basic terms regarding interest. First, principal. So assume that you are in a need of 10,000 rupees. You need 10,000 rupees for something, and you go to a bank and you take a loan of 10,000. You take 10,000 from the bank as a loan. So what would be your principal? Principal is the amount This 10,000 here in our case. So principal would be the amount which is borrowed at the time of borrowing. This is the total amount borrowed at the time of borrowing. Now, interest. So when you reach out to bank for a loan and bank gives you 10,000 rupees, bank sees it as an investment and it would charge some interest on you. Now this interest could be per year or quarterly or semi-annually, but it would charge you interest for every certain duration of time. So what would be that rate of interest? So for example, bank charges you 10% rate of interest at 10,000 rupees. So what would it mean? It would mean that this is simple interest. We will come to simple and compound interest later, but assume it as simple interest. So it will mean that you have 10,000 rupees borrowed and 10% is the interest you have to give to the bank every year. Let us assume it is for every year. So what would be the amount you would be giving to bank? It would be 10% of 10,000, which is 1,000 rupees. So this would be the absolute interest which you would be giving every year to the bank. Now this can be anything. This can be 10%, 20%, 30%. This was just an example. It depends on the agreement that what is the rate of interest. So in our case, it was 10%. Now term. Term is basically the total time for which you have taken the loan. For that term, after that term's end, you have to repay the principal plus loan to the bank. So basically it can be anything. It can be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or even it can be in months. But term is the time period at which you have to pay the principal plus interest to the bank when it ends. Interest are of two kinds, simple interest and compound interest. I've basically given you some idea regarding interest in here, but for classifying interest into these interests and looking at these two type of interest, we will be looking at these two just after a few minutes. Amount. So basically amount is the total amount. This is principal plus interest I. Principal which you took initially and interest which you have accumulated during the time period. So this is the amount at any point of time. Let us move forward. Before moving forward, if anyone has any doubt till now, they can ask in the chat. I guess no one has any doubt. So simple interest. Simple interest formula is written here. Simple interest is basically, it is P into R into T by 100. But basically what it means is that on a certain principle, you have to give simple interest every year or every 6 months or every quarterly, which is agreed upon in the agreement. But you have to give that interest, and simple interest is fixed. For each term, simple interest is fixed. As you can see, principal is fixed, rate of interest is fixed, and time period. So for every one duration of time period, this T would be 1. So for every duration of time period, simple interest is fixed. If it is 1,000 for the first year, it will be 1,000 for each subsequent year. Year 2, year 3, year 4, it will be the same for each subsequent year. And principal we know is a constant. So the total amount here would be principal plus interest into number of years n, or number of time durations n, since I interest is constant here. Let us move to compound interest now. So compound interest is amount minus principal. So for this, basically compound interest is not constant for each time duration. It varies as the time progresses. So this is the primary difference between simple interest and compound interest. The formula for amount is given, and if you subtract principal P from it, you would get the compound interest. Now let us look at the difference between both type of interest using an example. So for example, you have a sum of 10,000 rupees. You took 10,000 from your friend. Now he can either charge you simple interest on it or compound interest on it. We will take both the cases here. Here initial principal is 10,000. Here as well 10,000. Now year 1, after year 1, let us assume the rate of interest is 10%. So for year 1, what would be the amount as well as interest for simple interest case? It would be 10% of 10,000, which is 1,000. So interest would be 1,000. Amount we already know, principal plus interest. So it would be 10,000 plus 1,000, 11,000. For compound interest as well, the amount would be 10% for the first year, which is 1,000. The interest, my bad, interest is 1,000, and the amount would be 11,000. Till now, everything is same for both type of interest. But in year 2, what happens is that simple interest will remain the same, 1,000. And the amount would come as 10,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000, 12,000. Amount is the principal plus total accumulated interest till now. But in case of compound interest, what will happen is that the interest will be calculated not on this initial principal. The interest will be calculated on this new principal, which on this new amount which was there at the end of previous year. So at the end of previous year, the new amount was 11,000. So now this 10% interest would be calculated on this, not on this. So 10% of 11,000 would be 1,100. 1,100 would be the interest in case of simple interest, and the total amount would be 12,100. Now if we go for year 3, this will be the same, and this will be 13,000. But for compound interest, again, it will be calculated on this new amount. So 10% of this 12,100, this would be 1,210. And the total amount would come out as 13,000. Let me calculate it. 13,310. This would be the amount, total amount. So can you see that simple interest is constant over the years, whereas compound interest increases every year? Why is this? Because the amount increases every year, and on that increased amount, the same interest is calculated for compound interest. So it will be larger. So for only first time duration, the simple interest and compound interest are same for the same interest of rate. After first time duration, we can say that compound interest CI is always greater than simple interest SI. for the same interest of rate, so the same rate of interest. Does anyone has any doubt in this concept? Else we will be moving to questions now. We will be moving to questions now. If anyone has any doubt, they can type in the chat. Let's move to questions now. Before moving to the questions, I want to tell you something regarding another course which Cracku has launched. Just like XAT and Snap course, we have also launched NMAT course. You just need to Google search Cracku NMAT complete course, or you can also contact this number. You would get everything regarding the course. I would highly recommend you to check it out. Why would I say you to check it out? Because it has 130 plus concept videos. It has mocks, high quality mocks, closest to NMAT, I would say. It has 300 plus topic tests. And also we have weekend live classes by expert faculties. So please check it out. Let us move forward now. We would be doing questions now. So this is the first question. I want all of you to attempt this. You have 90 seconds. Time is up, guys. If anyone has got any answer, they can type in the chat. I would be looking at it after I complete the question. If anyone got any answer, type in the chat, please. In this question it is given a certain sum of money will amount to 24,200 in 2 years at 10% per annum compounded annually. What will this sum amount to if it is invested at 8% per annum simple interest for 3 years? Now we are given that for 2 years 10%, 2 years 10% compound interest, the amount is 24200. So can we basically find the principal here? We can find the principal here. The amount is principal plus interest. So principal plus interest. Basically in compound interest, we can directly write the amount. Amount would be P into 1 plus R to the power T. This is nothing but 24200. So T is 2 here and R is 10%. So it would be P into 1.1 to the power 2 this would come out as 24200. So principal comes out as 20,000. So this is the amount which was borrowed at the starting. Now we are given that, we are asked that what will this sum amount to if it is invested at 8% per annum, simple interest for 3 years. Now we have 8% SI for 3 years. And we already know the principal, which was 20,000. So amount would be principal plus interest. Principal is 20,000 plus interest would be PRT upon 100. So 20,000 into rate 8 into T3 upon 100. So this would come out as 24800. This would be the amount. So option B would be the answer here. Anyone has any doubt? Let me see who all got it correct. Akhil got it correct. Very well done, Akhil. I want more of you to attempt these questions. I guess these are not hard questions. These are easy to moderate questions. Let us move to the next question now. Time is up, guys. Let us solve the question. In this question, we are given that the difference between compound interest and simple interest on a certain sum in 3 years at 10% is 3,100. We are asked what will be the simple interest if the same sum is deposited at 8% for 3 years. We are given the difference between CI and SI for 3 years at 10%. So 10% is the rate and 3 years is the time. So we are not really given principal here. So let us assume it to be P. Can we write CI as well as SI for 3 years at 10% on principal P? So CI would be, compound interest would be amount minus principal. Amount is P into 1 plus 10 by 100 to the power 3 minus P. This would be the compound interest. And what would be simple interest? We are given the difference. So let us subtract the simple interest. Simple interest would be PRT by 100. P into 3 into 10 by 100. 3P by 10. This we are given as 3100. So can we basically find P from here? It would be P into 1.1 to the power 3, which is 1.331P minus P minus this is 0.3P. This is 3100. This comes out as 0.031P 3100. So P comes out as 3100 into P comes out as 1 lakh. Let us see what are we required to find. We are required to find the simple interest if the same sum 1 lakh is deposited at 8% for 3 years. So P is 1 lakh and 8% is the rate, time is 3 years. So it would be PRT by 100, which is 8 into 3, 24 by 100. This would come out as 24,000. Option C. Does anyone has any doubt? Let me see you all got it correct. Akhil got it correct. Very well done, Akhil. Anyone has any doubt till now? Also guys, I would like you all to like the stream. It would really motivate us to get more such streams in future. Plus subscribe to Cracku's YouTube channel. You would get free content which is of high quality. That is why I would really like you to like and subscribe. Let us move to the next question now. You have 90 seconds to solve this question. But time is up, guys. So in this question, we are given that Bablu invests his savings in the ratio of 4:3:3 in 3 simple interest schemes, which offer 8, 9, and 12% interest rates. What is the minimum number of years after which cumulative interest earned from 3 schemes exceeds 50% of the initial savings. So in this question, we are not really given the principal or the initial savings. We are given the ratio in which it is divided in 3 schemes giving different interest. So let us assume the total savings to be 100x, since we are not given. So what would be the total savings, initial savings, which is invested in the 3 schemes? It would be 40x, 30x, 3x. So scheme 1, scheme 2 and scheme 3, the principal would be 40x, 30x and 30x. What is interest here? Rate of interest rather. Rate of interest is 8, 9 and 12. So this is 8%, 9% and 12%. So what would be the absolute interest? Absolute interest would be 8% of 40x, which is 3.2x, 9% of 30x, which is 2.7x, 12% of 30x, which is 3.6x. Now we have interest in terms of everything in terms of x now. Now we are required to find what is the minimum number of years after which the cumulative interest exceeds 50% of the initial savings. So what would be 50% of the initial savings? It would be 50% of 100x, which is nothing but 50x. Now we want the total interest, cumulative interest, to be at least 50x. And we are required to find what would be the time period for that to be reached, minimum time period. Now we know that cumulative interest from all these 3 for 1 year is, for 1 year it would be 3.2x plus this. So this would be 3.2 plus 2.7, which is 5.9 plus 3.6x, which is nothing but 9.5x. This is the cumulative interest for 1 year. And we have to reach 50x. So since we know simple interest is constant for every year, so 9.5x, let us assume the number of years to be n. This has to be greater than or equals to 50x. So n comes out as 5.2, somewhere around this. Now we have to find the minimum value of n. Now, if n equals to 5, then this value 9.5 into n, this would be less than 50. This is equal when n is 5.26, something like that. So minimum n can't be 5, it has to be 6. So minimum number of years is 6. Option A. Anyone has any doubt till now? We would be moving to the last question of the day now. Anyone has any doubt? Even after solving this question, if anyone has any doubt, they can ask in the chat box. I would reply to it. So you have 2 minutes to solve this question. I guess time is up, guys. Let me try to solve this one. In this question, it is given that bank offers a simple interest of 8% on fixed deposits. Mohit deposits a certain sum in the bank. At the end of 5 years, he withdraws the entire amount from the bank and deposits 50% of this amount in another bank, which offers 10% simple interest. After another 2 years, Mohit gets 16,800 from the second bank. Now we are asked what is the amount that he invested in the first bank. So basically, we don't know the amount invested in the first bank, and which is also what we are asked. So let us assume that amount to be 100p. So he gets 8% simple interest on 100p every year. Now we are given at the end of 5 years he withdraws the amount. So at the end of 5 years, what would be the total amount? It would be 100p plus 100p into 8 into 5 by 100. This would come out as, this is total amount after 5 years. This would come out as 140p. Now out of 140p, we are given that he deposits 50% of this amount in another bank. So what would be 50% of this? It would be 70p. So he deposits 70p in another bank, giving 10% simple interest. 70p and 10% SI. So after 2 years, Mohit gets this much from second bank. So for second bank, we know this is the principal, this is the simple interest, and 2 years is the time. So basically, can we calculate the total amount from second bank? It would be 70p, which is principal plus interest. Interest is 70p into 10 into 2 by 100. This would come out as 84p. Now we are given this 84p is 16,800. This is the amount he got from second bank. Basically from here we get p as 200. What are we required to find? We are required to find what is the amount that he invested in the first bank. We assumed that amount to be 100p. We already know p is 200. So this would be nothing but 20,000. Option number B. Did everyone get it? Let me give shout out to the people who got it correct. Akhil got it correct. Karthik got it correct. Very well done, guys. Just keep it up. I guess Akhil got all correct. Very well done, Akhil. Does anyone has any doubt till now? Or else we will end the session now. In any of the concept from starting to ending, and if anyone has any doubt in any question concept, they can ask, or we will end the session now. I think no one has any doubt. So thank you for joining all. We will end the session now. Thank you.